All of this happening at a time when this trade war that obviously has raised some of the concerns of the Federal Reserve could be escalating right now. Japan and the EU among those signing a trade deal to protect themselves just in case. This follows on the heels of the Chinese entertaining their own deal with the Germans et al. All right, it's a 32 Advisors CEO, Wall Street heavyweight, Buckingham contributor Robert Wolf. Well, the wagons are beginning to circle and come together against us on trade. What do you make of this, Robert?
Yeah, well, as you know, I was on President Obama's export council. We've spoken many years. I'm very surprised that the party of free trade, the Conservative Party, is not really promoting free trade in a different way. I think tariffs is not the way to go. Trade war is not the way to go. The best situation for us to actually compete with China would have been the TPP, the Trans-Pacific Trade Agreement, because it was having trade deals with the 11 countries around China but for China. So dealing with Indonesia and Vietnam and the Philippines, Australia, New Zealand. And isn't that the best way to combat someone that you don't trust with trade, is really to trade with everyone around them? So I think there's a much better approach than tariffs and trade war.
All right, well, the president obviously disagrees, and his view is that they need us, their little tie-ins and tie-ups notwithstanding, that it would be, silly compared to just doing a straight trade deal with us. So that will be to our advantage. They'll realize that, come crawling back to us. You say what?
Yeah, I don't see that necessarily happening where anyone's crawling back to us. I've heard about these great trade deals, and we're still waiting for one of them. We're having a great trade deal with Canada. Hasn't happened. We're redoing NAFTA. Hasn't happened. We're going to have great deals with the EU. Hasn't happened.
So you're not a fan of the South Korean deal? That was a kind of a vanilla deal.
Well, it was kind of, all it did was iterate. I'm always for iterating trade deals. I mean, no one would say today NAFTA's perfect at all, and so let's change it. It's 25 plus years old. That being said, I'm for trade, but I'm for smart trade, and I think smart trade has to do with labor rights. It has to do with environmental rights, labor standards, environmental rights. And
well, how do you feel about that, Robert, as a prominent Democrat as well, that the president's support is very high among blue-collar communities and those who feel that these trade deals have not been beneficial to them, and Democrats, by not across the board dismissing a lot of these concerns, do so at their own peril, and the president has something on them? What do you
listen? There's a difference between having good trade agreements and then establishing trade war and tariffs. The president keeps using this logic that a trade deficit is a loss to our country. We know that that is not accurate. We're a 75+% consumer-driven country. So any time that tariffs gets passed to the consumer, we're the ones that pay for it. And
if it ever comes to that point, though, right? It is a game of Russian roulette. You're quite right.
But I don't think we need to play that game. Go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. No, I'm sorry. It was my bad. Do you think, though, that if the president were to succeed and get the other side to blink before it comes to an all-out war, he's won on that? The threat of tariffs made that happen.
Listen, I'm rooting for the president on having our economy stronger and us having good trade deals. No, wait a second.
You're not rooting for the president.
Yes, I am. Listen, I don't. Please. Listen, I support what you said yesterday about his views with respect to Russia, but I think all of us, are Americans first.
What did you think of that, by the way, the whole Russian thing?
I thought that you were spot on. I thought it was disgusting. I thought it was weak, and I thought it was an embarrassment, and it was the worst, in my opinion,
I worry that
his worst day in office.
I worry that it hurts him on this front, but maybe it's short-lived. We'll see.
Well, I'll tell you, I was listening to the smart individual you had on before. I would respectfully have disagreed with her. The sanctions we put on Russia post-Crimea really impacted them. The ruble got crushed, their stock market got crushed, their GDP got crushed, and capital investment into Russia got crushed. So the idea that sanctions didn't impact Russia
post-Crimea. But what do you think of the personal relationship? You're a very successful businessman. Of course, you reach across both sides and all sides on earth, all political parties. And I'm just wondering, the president's argument for this was, what's wrong with talking to the Russians? What's wrong with my complimenting, and what's wrong with all of that? That seems to be the backdrop for this, something we're told, Robert, he's going to, explain, and maybe in a little more detail in 40 minutes or so. But what do you think of that?
So I don't have an issue with him talking to our adversaries and talking to our friends. I have an issue with what he said at the conversation yesterday, the meeting, the summit, whatever we're calling it.
Fully agree.
Okay, where he hit his own DNI chairman, Coates, where he hits the CIA, hits the FBI, he takes the side of Putin. I don't understand that. Secondly, post what happened on Friday when we had indictments on 12 Russians, I probably would have canceled that meeting. I would have said this is not the right time.
No, you don't want to. Yeah, come on. The timing. You don't want to cancel it. Right?
That would have been my view. Okay. I would have rescheduled that meeting, and then
if I had a meeting with you, I wouldn't cancel it. Too big a deal.
You're very nice.
I'd come up with a different excuse. But
and then lastly, I actually think he has to put a hard line in the sand to make sure that Russia pays for what's happening, and we need to continue with tough sanctions.
All right.
And he needs to stay that course.
What's so weird is Democrats saying get tough, Republicans who aren't tough. It's an upside-down world.
Well, listen, I think this is going to be an incredibly bipartisan issue, and when I talk to my friends on both sides, there's no question this is one issue we should be able to get together on. Tough sanctions on Russia, not allowing them to meddle in our politics or anything to do within our country.
Well, you're right about this much. It has united friend and foe. So we'll see what happens, what the president says a little more than a half hour from now. Robert Wolf, always a pleasure. Thank you very much.